Well, hey everybody, and happy Tuesday. Some of you may be coming onto campus for Watchdog Night. If that's the case, only get some of the problems done and make sure that you do understand them. If not, let's get started. We're working on partial quotients, and today that's just one of the strategies on solving division problems. Let's look at number 1. 723 divided by 34. Like I said, I can't fit that whole problem here, so I'm going to switch over to a different sheet of paper. We worked on this one in class, and I said that it was 34 goes into 723, and then our answer on that one was going to be 21 with the remainder of 9. So I'm going to draw my line down, starting off with my friendly numbers. So it's 1, 2, 5, 10, and 100. Well, I did my 100 times 34. That is way too big, is what we determined, and so I'm not going to use that one. My next number is 10 times the 34, which is my divisor. And I said that 34 times 1 is 34. With 1 0, it's 340, and then I can take that out. So I'm going to put my first 10 here, where I'm going to write 340. My goal is to reduce the dividend where it will be less than my divisor, which is less than 34, or 0. So you want to get less than or get to 0 is the goal, as low as you can. 3 minus 0 is 0. I cannot take 4 out of 2, so I need to regroup. My 7 now becomes a 6. And so it is now a 12. 12 minus 4, we said it was 8. 6 minus 3 is 3. I can still take another, I can still subtract. And so it'll be 10 groups of 34. It can take 10 more groups out of it. So this is 340. I can still subtract. You see the pattern that you're doing. Okay? Now I'm multiplying, subtracting. 0 minus 0 is 0. 8 minus 4 is 4. And I'm done here. Now I want you to notice I can multiply my 5 times my 34. Now look at this. If I took half of my 10, which would be 5, then I can take half of my 340. And so do you know what half of 340 is? Well, what plus what will equal 34? So I want you to think about it and then multiply this out and see if you come up with the same one. 5 times 4 is 20. I'm going to regroup. 15, 16, 17. 17 plus 17 is 34, and then I have my 0. So half of 340 is 107. So look how when you start to work with your multiplications, you can easily figure that out without multiplying. So I want you to see the difference. Okay? So 170 is much greater than my 40, so my 5s won't work. If I have 2, if I double my 34s, 2 times 34, well, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6, that's 68. And remember, 34 plus 34 is also 68. The 68 here is greater than my dividend, which is 40. So that doesn't work. And now I'm left with 1. 1 times 34 equals 34. So I'm putting my, right where I'm not having that group, I put it here where I don't put my product, put my plus sign. That's going to be my 34 here. So I know that it's 1 times 34 equals 34. Here is my 10 that I placed here, and that I also placed there. And then my 1 is going here. So it's straight across because if my answer was 340, look how it's straight across from there. I know that 1 times 34 is 34. Now I'm going to subtract out. I can regroup, but then I also can ask myself, 34 is how much closer to 40? 6. Okay? So does that come out right when I regroup it? Can't take 4 out of 0, so I need to regroup. Take it from my 4, that becomes a 3. Bring my 10 over. I have 10 minus 4 is 6. Does it work out the same? Yes. So I want you to look at that bigger picture. Rather than having to constantly regroup here, you can also ask yourself, 34 is closest to, or whichever the number is. And so now my remainder is 6. I'm going to add up my partial quotients because this is part of the answer to a division problem. So I have 10, 21. So my quotient is 21. 21 is my answer, and I have a remainder of 6. I'm going to come over here, and for my number 1, the answer is 21 with a remainder of 6. Okay, I'm going to go on to number 3. If anytime you need to, pause this. Here I have 682 divided by 31. Sorry about that. I'm going to move it up. And let me move this out of the way. I thought I had gotten rid of that. Okay. All right, so I have 682 divided by 31. Again, this is my divisor. It goes on the outside. My dividend is my total number that I have. So I have 682 of something. So today we talked about cheese and pizzas. So I have 682. Again, I'm going to have my friendly numbers. My friendly numbers are going to be 1, 2, 5, 10, and 100. So if I have my 100 times the 31, way too big. I can hear y'all shout, too big, too big, too big, because I have my 2 zeros. 31 times 1 is 31, so it's 3,100. Way too big. Now I'm going to go to my tens. 10 times 31. Well, I have 1 0. I'll place that here. 31 times 1 is 31. 310. Yeah, I can take that 310 out of there. So I'm going to place my 10 here because this is where my 310 is going to go. And I'm going to reduce my dividend. 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 1 is 7. 6 minus 3 is 3. Can I keep going? Absolutely. Look at this. I can still take 310 out of here. So I'm going to put a plus sign here, and I'm going to add a 10. So now I'm going to subtract that out. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7 minus 1 is 6. Okay. Can I keep going? Take another group? 10 groups? Nope. I'm done. So I'm coming over here. 5 times 31. Again, I'm going to look at this. 5 times 31. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. It's 155. I know that 150 is equal to 300, so I'm going to take 5 of that. So 155 is going to be 310. So it'll be that halfway, trying to make sure that you can see it. Okay, so the 5 is going to be way too big. Let me take my 2. Well, if I double my 2, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Oh my gosh, look at that. And so I have my 2. I'm going to put a plus sign, 2 here. 31 times 2 is 62. Subtract it out, and I have 0. So remember, I'm trying to get as small as possible. I did hit my 0. So it's 10, 20, 21, 22. So my quotient equals 22. All right, so 682 can be is divided by 31. So 31 is equally 31 times 22 is equal to 682. All right. And then we used a vocabulary word today, divisible. So 682 divisible by 31, absolutely equal 22. All right, let's move on to number 5. So number 5 reads 284 divided by 32. Again, we're using partial quotients, which means part of the answer to a division problem. Taking my divisor, putting my dividend in the center, drawing my line down, using my friendly numbers, friendly hashtags, 1, 2, 5, 10, 100. Oops, not 1,000. Okay, 100. All right, do I know that the 100 will be too big? Yes, because I know that it's already going to be 3,200 because I'm going to add the 2 zeros. So think ahead on that one. So that's done. I have 10 times 32. That's 320. Still too big. So that's not going to work. Now I'm going to half that one at 5 times 32. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry my 1. 5 times 2 is 15 plus 1 is 16. And look at that. That's going to work right there. So I'm going to place my 5 here where I'm going to be putting my 160. And now I can subtract 160 from that. 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. Can I keep taking 160 out of there? No, I'm done there. So I can't go any further. So now I'm doing 2 times 32. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. So I know that 2 times 32 is 64. I put my plus sign here where I did my difference. And now I'm going to put my 2 right here. The product is coming here. I can subtract it out. And my dividend is getting smaller and smaller. So I have 4 minus 4 is 0. I can look at this as 12 minus 6 is 6. You can also regroup it. That becomes a 0. Is it still my 12? Yes, it is. So you can do it that way. Can I keep going with my 2's? No, I'm done. So I can't go any further. And I can do my 1 times 32 equals 32. So I'll do my plus. And I put my 1 where I'm going to place my 32. Take the difference of that. Can't take 2 out of 0, so I need to regroup. That becomes a 5. 10 minus 2 is 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. Now look at this. Is my dividend smaller than my divisor? Yes, much smaller. So this now becomes my remainder. So let me find my quotient at 5, 6, 7, and 8. So my quotient is 8. And then I have a remainder of 28. Okay? And I'm going to bring that over here, and I forgot to put it on the other one, and I'll put that now. So here I have for number 5, it's 8 with a remainder of 28. Number 3, remember that was divided equally into 22 equal parts. All right, let's look at number 7. I'm going to just turn